Hi, I'm Patrice Samuels, and I'm here with Mitch Karren, who is the CPO and the co-founder of SmartRent. SmartRent is a sponsor of Connection, so we definitely want to to know a little bit more about SmartRent and sort of the role they play within the smart home industry. So, Mitch, if you want to just tell us a little bit more about your company and the role it plays.
Yeah, thank you, Patrice. And again, this is Mitch Karren from SmartRent. And for those of you who don't know, SmartRent is a enterprise home automation and smart building platform that's purpose-built for property owners, property managers, residents, and their visitors. And in a short 4.5 years, SmartRent has actually built 6 standalone SaaS products, ranging from smart home systems to access control, to parking solutions and Wi-Fi. And we really come to the industry with an open architecture and agnostic approach. So we integrate with lots of third-party property management systems, CRMs, and Active Directories to really solve customer problems. And last thing I want to say about SmartRent is it's actually built by operators. We're a bunch of operators and technologists. The company is also backed by the real estate industry. So we have a lot of customers, large publicly traded REITs that are customers and investors. And we actually reached a really amazing milestone a couple of weeks ago. We actually transitioned and became a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange.
Very nice. So SmartRent plays a strong role in the multifamily or MDU segment, depending on how you're defining it, which is sort of a subset of the smart home market in general, if you will. So can you tell us a little bit more about what are some of the major consumer and sort of industry trends that you think are shaping the multifamily market, or smart home products in that market segment, as well as the smart home industry in general?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, overall exception and adoption of smart home systems has been amazing over the last 3 to 5 years. It was I don't want to say it was a taboo industry 5 years ago, but the conversations you have around smart homes today is drastically different than it was even just a short 2 or 3 years ago. And that goes both for the consumer space and the multifamily space too. We've seen such an amazing uptick on adoption in multifamily. The numbers of growth are huge, and the conversations again are completely different. We're doing less education, still doing some education on the market, but a lot of people are very well versed on what smart homes mean. And one of the funny stories I like to tell is when I used to describe SmartRent just a short 3 years ago, I'd have to start the actual conversation about, hey, are you familiar with smart home technology, such as locks and thermostats and lights? And then that question gone away. When I talk about SmartRent now, I can easily say it's a smart home automation company, and virtually everybody, whether you know our company or not, understand what we do, understand the value that we have. And so in general, from an industry perspective, I really think the overall adoption is there. It's great to see smart home is becoming more ubiquitous. From the actual manufacturing side and kind of the more nuts and bolts of the functionality, we're starting to see a lot of the companies that make great devices on their 3rd and 4th generation of their product, whether it's a smart lock, whether it's a doorbell, whether it's a camera or sensor or lighting controls. So we're really seeing a lot of progression and maturity with these companies who have been building devices for 10, 15 years. And we're seeing a lot of great advancements, not just on basic device controls or monitoring or sensor detection, but we're starting to see a lot of advanced analytics and intelligence to really improve the overall experience for users, both residents in our world, residents and property managers, and property owners as well.
Great. So certainly market awareness is helping to drive growth in the market. And you've touched on already some of the technology drivers such as AI and just improvements in these products in general that are really helping to drive adoption and growth in this market. Now, are there any other specific technologies that you think are playing a strong role in helping to move this market forward?
There's several, yeah. And kind of going back to what I was saying about the device manufacturers, as chipsets and technology have improved over the years, we're really getting a lot better analytics. We're getting better battery life. We're getting better reliability. We're getting better distances. So when all those things kind of come together, especially in our world, if you think about an apartment building, it's a lot more complicated than just a home. And so we have to leverage a lot of new different technologies than you may in a single family house. And so a lot of that technology has evolved over the years. Again, going, as I was saying, better battery life. You can improve where sensors can be placed. You can improve where sensors can be placed because the chipsets have increased long range and overall reliability. And so a lot of those trends have enabled us to actually build better products and offer better solutions for our customers.
Great, interesting. So you're saying a lot of these technologies have improved to make better products in general, right? And of course, you mentioned things like longer battery life and so on. So where do you see this market going within the next 3 to 5 years for the MDU market or the smart home industry in general?
Yeah, as I was talking about evolving technologies, I think first and foremost, the Wi-Fi as a foundation, which we don't always talk about the importance of Wi-Fi, especially in the smart home system. We kind of assume that a homeowner is going to have Wi-Fi, but especially in our world, where there's a lot of devices in buildings, we're talking thousands and thousands of devices within an apartment building. It's important to have a strong foundational networking structure. And while a lot of those devices can leverage low bandwidth connectivity through cellular, it's very important to have this very strong internet connection via a Wi-Fi network, a managed Wi-Fi network. And with that, also Wi-Fi 6 in the future, I believe, is going to help play a really strong role with that as the volume of devices, not just IoT devices, but resident devices. Each resident's got 3, 4, 5 different devices in each apartment now. So the overall volume of devices is going to heavily rely on technologies like Wi-Fi 6. Beyond that, let's talk a little bit more about specific products. I think from an access perspective and smart locks and access control, having Apple finally release information on how to add technology and credentials in the Apple Wallet is really amazing. I think a lot of people, especially in the access space, have been waiting for this for a while. And so it's really exciting to see them finally open up the technology and work with companies to improve the access experience, at least from that standpoint. Matter, as a lot of people are knowing now, it formerly was called Chip. That's getting a lot of steam in the industry, especially from the consumer side. It's going to really help interoperability. And so we're looking at that as well and hoping that can help improve some things on the MDU side, as obviously we deal with hundreds and thousands of devices in each property. So interoperability is always an ongoing thing we'd love to progress on. And just the last thing I'd like to touch on from the 3 to 5 year perspective is how much more opportunity there is in the MDU space. We really have barely touched the tip of the iceberg in terms of adoption overall. While residents in general have been adopting the technology and are accepting it in general, there's so much opportunity for the rental apartments and the entire industry as a whole to further benefit not just the residents from an amenity perspective, but help owners and managers better operate and protect their assets.
Great, thank you. And I'm encouraged by what you're saying, that there'll be so much more development with these enabling technologies that is really going to help this market go even further. Well, that is all the time we have. Thank you so much, Mitch, for coming on and telling us a little bit more about how you perceive the smart home market and where you think it's going. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you, Patrice.